Morning, everyone. My name's Ashley Gower. I'm the Assistant AD for Communications here. We're really excited that everybody could make it out this year for our Fall Sports Media Day. The first time that we're having all four of our fall teams here, so you get to hear from all four head coaches and also Dr. Downs and Josh. So each of the coaches are going to come up separately with their student athletes, and then there'll be a time for anybody to ask any questions. So we're going to get things rolling with our president, Dr. Downs.
Thank you, Ashley. Who's excited for the new school year? Yeah. There's a buzz in the air. I went to get my coffee this morning, and the person that was giving me my cup of Joe said, I can just feel it in the air. School's getting ready to start. A lot of students stayed. I know a lot of the students stayed and the student athletes to work out. But now the other students are moving in, and new students are showing up, so the energy level is just starting to build into this crescendo of, this is Wolves Nation, and we're here to play. So, welcome to Media Day. When I look at a new school year, I get excited. This is my 32nd year in higher education. Yeah, go ahead and do the math. It's been a long time since I've been in higher education. But what we're doing at Northern State University is exceptional. We're going to the next level. And all the student athletes are important. All the students are important. All the coaches. Let's give a round of applause for all of our coaches in athletics. We're constantly trying to improve facilities, whether it's 3 residence halls, a science building, an athletic and rec field. We're building a school for the blind. And then we have another facility that we're going to build as well, this regional sports complex. But all these things are happening, and there's other things that are happening as well, because if you look over the wall, when you leave today, you can see that there's no basketball court. Well, there will be soon, and we'll also have a center-hung scoreboard. And that's for the use and pleasure of everybody that comes to see a game or an event or a concert or whatever we're doing in the Barnett Center. We're constantly upgrading this institution to serve the students and the community. And it's just a great place to be. I just love it. I'm excited every day I come to work. But when fall starts, there's this energy that is just unbelievable. So the fall teams. Coach Aldridge, I know you guys are picked first. That's great. There's 2 of the teams, a couple votes behind. It's going to be a dogfight the whole year. Building on last year's success, you constantly bring in a freshman class that challenges the sophomores, juniors, and seniors. It's that grit, that edge that's going to make this program go even to the next level. So we have every confidence in the volleyball team and the coaching staff to go to that next level. Cross country, Coach Mahaffey and Coach Dingman working together. You're both here in the room, I believe. Raise your hands. Yep, there they are. Great program, great student athletes. The energy that's coming to this program is phenomenal. I see the students running and working out. We know it's going to be a great season, both in the fall and the spring. Soccer, Coach Gorski. Where is he? There he is. I saw the soccer team working out this morning. They look pretty intense. We're ready to have a great year. It's probably the best field in the country. If not the best, one of the best. The facility is phenomenal. We're investing in programs and facilities, and those facilities are also going to be used for intramurals and recreation, so all students can have access to those facilities. All these things are for the benefit of our students. And of course, there's this other sport, what's it called, football? There's a few large people in the first couple rows, got their jerseys on. We're creating a D2 powerhouse. I know it's happening. I can feel it. I can see it. When I look in Drew's eyes, I can see it in his eyes. And he's sharing it with the juniors and the sophomores and the freshmen. And you have to do that on every sport. You have to coach and mentor within your team to say, this is our expectation. We come to play and we come to win. And that's what makes it exciting to come watch you perform. So the fall sports, they add a great energy to campus. And the community loves Northern as a university and as a partner for the fine arts, for athletics, and just they really embrace Northern State University, and we could never be thankful enough for that. So we're ready to have a great academic year, a great year on every field that we compete on, because I know and I have every confidence that you'll compete on the field, you'll compete in the classroom, and there's great futures for Northern State University and all of our students. So let's give a round of applause for all of our student athletes. So now it's my pleasure to have Mr. Josh Moon, the athletic director at Northern, come to the mic and give some other updates. Hope I didn't steal any of your thunder, Josh.
Thank you. All right, let's give a round of applause to Dr. Downs. It's awesome having a president who believes in the power of athletics, what it can do for a campus and a community and a region. We have that here at Northern Athletics, and where we're going with this culture of excellence that we're talking about is really exciting, where it will be a Division II powerhouse. We've got there with some sports, other sports are on the rise. We're investing more and more resources into all our programs so we can have that championship standard. So thank you, Dr. Downs, for your leadership. We're going to get right into it with cross country, and as Ashley mentioned, this is the first year we've had cross country talk. Coach Mahaffey is in her first year as head coach, and we have a roster of 24 student athletes on the men's and women's side. And we've got some good returners, also some high-quality freshmen coming in, and we're excited to see the upward trajectory of this program this year under Coach Mahaffey's leadership. So let's bring up, in her first year as head coach, her second at Northern, Coach Livia Mahaffey.
First off, I want to thank President Downs, Josh Moon, and Zach Flackus for trusting me to take on this new role as head coach. I'm very excited to be leading the cross-country teams for both men and women. We have a very exciting season ahead of us. We have 7 freshman athletes coming in, 5 on the men's side and 2 on the women's side. We have 2 brothers from Newtown, North Dakota coming in. Both have placed in the state championships. Jalen, he is going to be an incoming freshman. Not a true freshman, however. He went to school in Washington prior for his freshman year, so he'll be coming in starting his sophomore year academically. He won the state championship his junior year in North Dakota for Class B, and he was 4th place his senior year. His brother, Ricardo Chase, was 6th place last year in the state championships for Class B in North Dakota. So I expect great things from them. We have Michael Worth, hometown kid from Warner. He was 5th place in the state championship for Class B. And we also have Racine Sam from Wakpala. He was 3rd place as well in the Class B championships for South Dakota. So excited for them to come in. We also have another guy from Arizona, John Jacklin, who's also competed at the state championships. So looking forward to having those guys in and really pushing our upperclassmen to do better, be more competitive, and it's going to be a really great group. For the women, we have 2 coming in, one Mary Franson from Colorado, and Victoria Kolbinger from Minnesota. Victoria was a 4-time all-conference competitor, and she also won state in the 3200 for track and field. So I have a really great group of freshman athletes coming in. We also have only lost 2 seniors on the women's side, Hannah Castigar, who also, as you know, swam, and then Paige Larson. And then on the men's side, we lost 1, Tanner Peltier. So a great group of athletes returning. It's going to be a really solid group. Their summer training has been going pretty flawless. I think that's one of the biggest differences that I've seen coming in last year and then going into this new year is they've really stepped it up as far as their commitment, training every day in the summer, not missing a day, logging their training, holding each other accountable, getting together for runs. They're already a lot better off at this point in the summer going into the year than they were last year. So I expect some really good things. We're going to be starting off our season at the Augustana Twilight, which last year we did not go to. We hosted the Rogue Ranger, which those coincided on the same weekend. So This is going to be a really good move for our program. The Augustana Twilight is a very competitive meet. There will be a lot of big D1 schools there, a lot of conference schools, schools from the region as well. So I expect us to come in and really hit it hard and put off some good times from the beginning. Our next big competitive meet will be Roy Griak, which is a very, very competitive meet, long-standing tradition of good schools coming in. There's a lot of, again, conference and regional schools that will be there. So that will be our next big meet. We'll be heading to St. Cloud after that for the Bob Wexlax Invitational. That will be kind of our last meet where we will compete against, again, a lot of conference and regional schools before we go into the NSIT Championship in Wayne, Nebraska. So we have, again, only lost a couple seniors, have a really strong returning class. I'd say the biggest thing for us this year is to just really have some people step up, be some front runners. At our conference championship, our goal is to place within the top 5, which is definitely possible. Both our programs, men and women, I'd say the only difference that separates us from that 5th to 4th place spot is our top 2 runners and our top 5. Which, seeing how well they've done this summer with their training and where we're at currently, I have no doubt that we're going to move up to the top 5 within our conference. So that's kind of all I have. I'm very excited again to take on this new role. I'm really excited with the direction our program is going. And if anyone has any questions, I'd love to answer them. No questions? Okay. Megan, do you want to come up and talk a little bit about the team?
Hi, I'm Megan Mooberry. I'm a junior here. I'm from Osage, Iowa, and I'm majoring in biology and chemistry. Like Coach kind of said, going into this season, I think our big team goals are just to be top 5 in the conference. We were 7th last year, but we're bringing back 6 out of 7 of our returners onto that team, and we're bringing in 2 solid freshmen too. So I really feel like we can really elevate everyone. Everyone's kind of been all in on the summer training, which has been really exciting. So I really think that we can push ourselves into that next group with the top 5 schools in the conference. We compete in a really tough conference, so it's exciting and challenging. This year, we're also heading into our 2nd year under Coach Liv, and I think that's a good thing for us because last year was kind of an adjustment year. You know, cross country is a unique sport because that coach-athlete relationship is so important because it's such like an individual thing. Training is not one size fits all. So heading into this year, like we've had more time to get to know Coach. He's had time to get to know us, and I think that will really show in our consistency in our training. Are there any questions? Why did I choose to come to Northern? I think what's really special about our cross-country team is how close we all are. I mean, we live together, we run together, cook together, train together. I really like that close-knit bond that we all share. And I think you don't really I visited a lot of schools, and I just really don't think you find that anywhere else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach and Megan. We're going to move on to soccer, and we're going to bring up Coach Rich Gorski. Coach Gorski's in his first year at Northern, and he definitely has a mindset that we're looking for with this program to change the culture and get us to the top of the conference. We feel like, you know, what he's done with recruiting this year, he's bringing in student athletes from 11 states and 5 different countries, so he's literally going global to bring the best and brightest into Northern. Coach Dr. Downs talked about the facility, again, best in the country, and looking to build upon that and, again, bring more students in here to NSU, more events in that facility, so stay tuned on that. So he's in his first year as head coach. He Division I student athlete out east and played professional for a while. He's a goalkeeper specialist, and I don't know if there's any other fun facts. He's mediocre at golf at best, but let's bring up Coach Rich Gorski.
Thanks, Josh, for the introduction. Appreciate it. So yeah, I've been the head coach here since January. It was a long winter for soccer, especially when we can't go outside to practice, and I'm a new coach and trying to look at what we have available to the program, what players will be returning. So it was a long spring for me and the team as well, and it was good to see them out on the field eventually in April. see what they can bring to the table. Building on top of that, got to recruit as well. So it was a long spring for me recruiting. It was just myself, so I was out on the road a lot. Had to have trust in the girls to sort of practice on their own and get ready for this coming fall. So we've got 9 incoming players coming in, 5 internationals, 2 from Holland, the Netherlands. We got 1 from Spain, 1 from England, and 1 from Belgium. We got 2 community college transfers coming in, 1 from Washington and 1 from Wyoming. And we also have 2 true freshmen, 1 from Wisconsin and 1 from Aberdeen here, South Dakota. So we got a great nucleus coming in, and we got 18 returners. Really looking forward to them gelling together. They've been having a captain's practice for the last week and a half or so, getting to know each other. There's some internationals coming in this Thursday night, so excited to get them on campus. With that being said, we've got a great nucleus of players with the program. I'm excited to get going with the team, see what they can bring to the table. I'm kind of ruthless because I'm all about winning. My philosophy is all about winning. This is college athletics after all. I'm going to lay down the hammer, and we want winners on the field. So I'm going to introduce like a travel roster, so competition for spots can be it'll get pretty fierce on the field, and that's what I want to see. I want people wanting to have a spot, and care about the spot instead of everybody just traveling and being okay with it. So this is a place we can win. We've got a great facility. We've got the administration behind the soccer program. I was fortunate enough to get an NCAA grant this spring to bring in a full-time assistant. So I brought in Rachel Norton, who I worked with at Bemidji State. She just graduated from Bemidji. She's an all-star there at Bemidji, NSIC all-star, and then she was all-American as well. So she's going to bring in a lot to the program as well and help me work with these young ladies and hopefully bring them up to speed with everything. I'm excited to get going, and we'll see where things go. My expectations are high, but I can only ask for so much from the girls, and we'll see what they can bring to the table. Without further ado, I'm going to invite our captain and senior student athlete from California, Cheyenne Roselli, to come up here.
Hi, my name's Cheyenne Roselli. I'm from California, and I'm going to be a senior this year. Our team is really excited to get started for this upcoming season. We started captain's practice last week, and then we'll start fall camp next week. And it's been really exciting to see the strength of our returners. They look fit, strong, and ready to go. But it's also been really exciting seeing the incoming talent. There's a lot of girls with great talent coming in. There's a lot of talent in our coaching staff. So between all of those things, I think it's going to mix really well. There's a positive culture coming in, and I think it's going to push us in a really good direction for this upcoming season. Personally, it's my last year, so there's a lot of emotion going into this season. But I think that we're all just ready to leave it all out on the field. There's a lot of expectations as well, and I think that the girls are, ready to take a hold of those expectations and go above and beyond them. I think everyone's excited, and it's going to be a really successful season. Are there any questions?
Tell us about your facility and how it compares to the conference. This is your 4th year. How does that help you guys get better?
Our facility is incredible. I've been here, this is my 4th year, so I played 2 years on the old field, and the difference is just insane. It's mind-blowing. We definitely have the best field out of anywhere that we're going to play this season. And it brings excitement to the girls, I think. I think it makes the games more intense. It makes everybody feel like the community really supported us to be able to help us build that stadium, and that we all owe it to not only ourselves, but the community around us and everybody that's helped us get to this point. Any other questions?
I'll take any questions if anybody has any questions for me.
Where'd you get the cool
So I've been practicing my accent for many, many years, and so a lot of people get confused. I'm not from Australia, if that's where you think I'm from, but yeah, I'm trying to down it a little bit, sound more American. So, any more questions? Do I have a family? Yes, we have a family. I have a family. Yes, I have a lovely wife who just got employed in the area. She's principal now at Roncalli, so very proud of her. And I have a newborn son who's 4 months, very, very soon, Bogdan. So he's in daycare, again, looked after pretty well by the Y. So, yeah, we're happy to be here. Okay, thank you.
Coach Gorsey's pretty intense, so he's got to make sure he remembers his wife's anniversary and those important things like that. So he's a work in progress. We're going to shift gears to volleyball, and Dr. Downs went through a few of the accolades here. Obviously, really excited with this group being picked first in the conference, which is the best conference in Division II. I think you know the expectations and the work that's gone in to build this program to where it is today. A new floor coming out here. Appreciate your patience the next month here as we get in and get that done. And want to give a shout out to Zach for all his hard work with the contractors and back and forth of getting this floor. It's going to be amazing, folks, when this thing is done. It's going to be flush. It's amazing floor, top of the line. And then when we get the center hung in, it's going to really make this arena something special, which it already is. It's going to make it even better. So going into volleyball, this program has spent 54 consecutive weeks in the top 25, and last year finished number 10 in the country. They are the defending NSIC champions. This is the first time we've done that in program history, and back-to-back appearances in the NCAA tournament. And we're going to have Coach Aldridge come up here in a second. He's got 163 career wins at NSU, including 7 winning seasons. He's the 3-time NSIC Coach of the Year, so he was Coach of the Year last year, and has coached 6 All-American volleyball student-athletes, which we have a couple here with us today. So Coach Aldridge really has transformed this program and taken us to the highest levels. And I think really what's left is the national level and making some noise there and winning a national championship. And I think this team believes that, and we are confident in saying that that's our goal, that's our expectation with this program. So without further ado, I'll bring up the individual with the best hair in our department, Coach Brent Aldridge.
Yeah, I cut my hair last night. I do it in the shower, so it doesn't really make a mess. It all goes down the drain. Thanks, Josh, Zach, and Ashley Gower, who has not been mentioned, maybe the coolest poster I've been a part of in 8 years here. I opened the box, and I know my face wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, and Hillary's like, he doesn't like it. I did like it, but the only pictures she sent me were like, and smiling, and 2 things I don't do a ton of is smile. But the girls liked it, and it came out really well. So, and we got really cool uniforms this year. So, going into my 9th season, I don't know what to expect. Greatness. That's it. I love being at Northern. It's someone asked me, "Hey, do you ever regret leaving Division I?" Absolutely not. These guys have the magic right here, and it's going to be beautiful out here. Yeah, we're going to be on the road, and like I tell people, we'll play anyone, anywhere. And so looking at relentless pursuit of excellence, which is kind of what this group embodies, I think. We've got a bunch of returners. We have 12 returners, 2 All-Americans, 4 All-NSIC players, and a group that was really smart, like way smart, like 3.75 for the year, 3.81 in the spring with 8 4.0. So I look at that and I'm like, geez, don't screw it up, But I think we get into the gym on Monday and off we go. That's really it. We're deep. We're old. Kind of old. We redshirted a bunch of kids last year, but we're old, and so they have another year. And we brought in some quality freshmen that I think can absolutely push people to where we want to go. Is it easy? No. We play 12 matches against the top 37 in the nation. So half of our schedule will be against top 30 teams. And when I recruited these guys, I said, look, you have to embrace that challenge or don't come here. If you don't want to compete every day in practice, if you don't want to represent, then don't come here. We'll find someone else. And we had other people in, and so these 18 said, yeah, we want the challenge. And so to go with me in that challenge is someone that's been with me for a long time. Holly Vancouver, stand up, Holly, was an outside hitter for me, someone I trust greatly. Someone's like, well, she has no experience. She has tons of experience in our gym. And so why go get someone that doesn't embrace what she went through as an athlete and what she knows about Northern and what she brings to the table. So I'm excited for Holly to be on the bench with me. And then I got a new GA, which I know her dad, because her dad actually coached at Bemidji, Maura Chadwick. And she's new. She played college at Simpson. And so we're excited about what's going on with her. She's doing everything I don't want to do, and then everything Holly doesn't want to do. Welcome to coaching. But like I told her, I said, I'll never ask you to do something I haven't done myself. Sweep the floors, pick up trash, all that stuff. And so the other day I'm like, go vacuum out their lockers. And you know why I asked her to do it? Because I did it last year. And so I'm not going to ask either one of these two to do anything that I have not done during my career. And so we're going to bring up two people that are way better looking than me and are way better at volleyball than me as well at this stage. So we'll bring up a freshman of the year, her first year, Laura Snyder, who is now an All-American as well, and Jenna Reef, who is a two-time first-team All-Conference middle, who is now going to the outside. So blame me after she's an All-American. It's because of her. So come on up, you two.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Snyder. I am a junior right side hitter and setter from Ham Lake, Minnesota. This season is going to be really exciting. We have a lot of returning talent and a lot of new faces, and we think that it will help us all create a competitive atmosphere in the gym and working day by day to get that national championship. Super excited about it, and I'm super excited to get in the gym next week. So, yeah.
All right. Hi, I'm Jenna Reef. I'm from Chester, South Dakota, and I'm a senior outside hitter. Just some goals for this year. I mean, obviously, we hope to be conference champions again, but hopefully this time it will be both in season and tournament. And then we also hope to make it out of our region as well. Oh, season outlook. All right. So we brought in a whole bunch of competitive freshmen that we're going to add to already competitive returners. So hopefully they will help us help push us on the court and off the court and help us be better volleyball players. Do you guys have any questions?
Talk about the culture of the gym and chasing excellence. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis?
Every day we need to come in the gym with just being there physically and mentally. The mental part is definitely a little bit more difficult once the school season starts and once we have a couple more games under our belts. But just being deliberate with being there every day and just holding each other accountable and everything like that. So, yeah. Any other questions?
What are your guys' favorite matchups in terms of when you're at the net? Who do you like to match up against in the league?
Personally, I like to play Duluth just because I have some personal stuff going on there. But
I love to play against Augie. Just, yeah, I guess personal stuff for that too. But
Yeah, question, Bib.
Do you think anybody in the preseason poll is being underrated and overlooked?
Are you talking NSIC or national? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's some really good teams that are old, kind of like we are, that are right on the edge of breaking through. And sometimes we play them once at their place. Sometimes they have to come to our place. This year we play everyone on their home court, all of the big dogs on their home court. And so we embrace that too. We have to go do some stuff we've probably never done since I've been here. And what we want to do is, like Josh said, create this competitive advantage. And so they asked me what I would like to see. I'd like to see 4,000 people at a volleyball match. Can we do that? Absolutely. But we need our community to get on board like they never have. It's been great. We're like top 3 in the nation, but it's going to be a wonderful facility, and it's not like we're throwing some scrubs out on the court. I think it's a good group of kids that are competitive. We have kids from here. Our Minnesota people all travel well. Their parents are always down here, but we need more from the community, I think, to fill it. It's awesome. 2,700 people in here, 2,000 people in here. It's great, and then we have to produce, but then we need to. It's a goal. And so if we're going to go the next step and put a brand new floor in, center hung scoreboard, I don't know, pony show, maybe in between 2 and 3, then we have to do our part. But 4,000 people, 67,000 people watch the Polish men's national team play. Wrap your head. That's like going to a Michigan game, only they have 110 or whatever, but 67,000 watching volleyball. And so it's doable. 4,000, 5,000 is doable. Because these guys put a great product on the floor, and we're supported by our administration, and so it's getting there. We're slowly, incrementally getting there. And so, any other questions? Yep.
You've been here a while now, facing a bit of success. How do you believe you're going to attain success moving forward? Do you see yourself changing? Do you see the team changing to allow that success to happen? Have you got a plan behind it?
Absolutely. These guys are the plan. As you know, recruiting is a driving force. You can coach as hard. I coached as hard in 2011, 2012, as I do now. Actually, probably harder now because we have attained some success, but getting good in this league is not easy, and staying good in this league every year is even harder because we're not in Minnesota, and we have 9 Minnesota teams recruiting the same kids we are. So what's the competitive advantage we have? And so we haven't went global, and not that I haven't looked, but trying to find the right fit. Volleyball is unique in our area because, I don't know, Minnesota's the hub. Well, we got lots of Minnesota people up there recruiting the same kids. And let me ask our Minnesota kid, why did you come here, Laura?
Okay, I came here because, I looked at all the other schools, and it didn't feel right. I came to campus, and everything just clicked, and I also really liked Coach, and I loved the competitiveness of the volleyball team, and I just knew I wanted to come here. So 5 hours away is it's really far. I can't go home on weekends, but it's worth it, so yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah, last year we brought in a bunch, and we actually got the ability now to finally redshirt kids in our program. Before, it's like, I don't know, she came in, she had to play. She's good, and so we needed her to play right away. We have some kids that redshirted last year that would have played on anyone's roster. And so now we have a group of kids coming in. What you hope is that some of them fight and win that spot, but you also hope the kids that you've had in your program have done enough to keep their spot. And I think we hold them accountable by film, numbers. In other words, we take stats every day, and stats don't lie. It really doesn't. If you're at the top of the heap, you're probably going to be the person that goes. And we know, the seniors know, the juniors know, the sophomores, redshirt, all that, they know that. And so incoming freshmen, it's about to get real a little bit on Monday, where you were always, and football's the same way. You may have been the all-world player at your high school, and then you get here, and it all kind of comes crashing down, and you're calling your mom going, I'm maybe not as good as I thought I was. And that's okay, because your coaches are here to make you better, and that's how I look at these guys. There's going to be some tears and some unhappy people, and then they're going to embrace the challenge of what it takes to play for Northern State volleyball. And Ashley's been here the longest. She's a 5th year. Should be 4.5 year, and then get married. But in any case, she came and sat behind the best setter in the nation. Drew Smith was the #1 setter, 13 assists per set. And so it wasn't that way. If Ashley would have came in 2011, she would have started as a freshman. And so now we want to get that competitiveness at every position. And it's not just us. It's Rijard and Dosh, and we're all the same. We all want to raise not only our level of our team, but we want to see football, because when we raise that stadium over there, it's going to be rocking. And so everyone's got a responsibility, not just, hey, Coach Dosh, make me great, I'm going to roll in every day. It's not that way. You got to bring something to the table, and I think Josh entrusts all of the coaches, not just the fall coaches, but winter, spring, all that. And so that's our job. And the administration's been great about helping us along the way, personally, as a volleyball team. So, any other questions? I'm probably over. Oh, the legend, Kurt Fredrickson, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you tell your incoming freshmen coming in, they're going to redshirt?
Absolutely not. No. I didn't tell either of you two, and they both started. The opportunity to start as a true freshman at Northern is no different. If Dosh has a 6'9", 325-pound, he's not going to redshirt him. If he beats someone out, then it's no different from us. If you win it, you get it. If you don't win it, you better keep working or you'll never get it. That's really, and that's how life is. It's the start of being a big girl or a big boy. When you're done, there's going to be other people applying for the same job. Mom and dad can't help you. And our job as coaches is to help you understand that and help you work your way into the starting lineup. If not, then you have to be a good teammate. And we have some great kids on our team. It's not just about who starts. If you watch our sideline, I call them a bunch of freaks. They're jumping around. Some of the best celebrations, and Terry Holmes asked me, well, what do you do for the kids on the end of the bench? Nothing. I'm coaching. Their job, and we have some kids that lead that aren't playing, that are very good leaders, and I think every team has that. Basketball had it last year, and I think it should always be that way. Success breeds success. So, did I answer your question, Fred? Anyone else? All right, go Wolves.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, we're going to close out with football. And I know we had one of the largest groups here that we've ever had this summer. And I know the upperclassmen here in this group here are determined to turn the corner and make this program a championship level program. I think you can see it in their eyes here. I think we're locked in, Drew and Zach here. And with the excitement that's happening here with the facilities, with the practice field this last year and soccer, and what's going on in the Burnett Center, and then this fall, hopefully we're going to start construction on the locker room, club room phase, kind of the first phase of the regional sports complex, Dakota Bank Stadium, is really, really exciting. I mean, it's awesome. Things are coming together, and we still have some work to do on the fundraising. So please reach out to the foundation or Dr. Downs or I if you want to contribute to that. But that is exciting. I think we're the moment right now, we're capitalizing on that momentum and building the future of this program with again these transformational facilities. This season, we're going to open up September 5th with the Insure Crop Egg Bowl, which is Thursday night. So that's going to be awesome out at Swisher Field, night game, but bring in Bemidji State and just have a rocking crowd there. Gypsy Days will bring in a top 5 ranked Minnesota State Mankato here on October 12th. So we know Gypsy Days is always a highlight for everybody. This year it'll be broadcast live on Midco, so that'll be a marquee game. And we've got a few other games that'll be really exciting out at Swisher Field as we close down that chapter this year and next year out at Swisher Field, and then as we move into Dakota Bank Stadium. So I'm going to bring up Coach Dosh. Coach is in his 10th year, a decade at NSU. He's got 47 career wins, 5 winning seasons, and he's going to give us an overview of what he's seen. I think he's in practice, just finished practice number 3 today. So let's bring up our head football coach, Tom Dosh.
Thank you, Josh. First off, thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate you being here. My wife was here. She had to leave early, so I'm not really sure how to take that, but she said I'm out of here before you talk. So no, she had to take off. But want to wish everybody the best of luck. Obviously, all the fall teams that are here now. I do not have an accent like you do, Coach. I grew up in Strasburg, North Dakota, so it took me a long time to get rid of my German Iron Curtain accent. So I'm working on it on a daily basis. We've got 110 guys that we reported for fall camp, which is the most we've ever had. And then additionally, we've got about 7 or 8 walk-ons that will be joining us when school starts. And so that's been a couple things. One, it tells you about the retention from one year to the next, because we didn't have a huge senior class last year, but ultimately football is such a game of attrition and retention that really that's the thing that makes it. That's how you got to be successful. Is you got to recruit good players, and then you got to keep them here. And it's like that in any sport, but obviously football, with the numbers we deal with, is it's really paramount to our success. So, and that's not an easy thing to do sometimes. And then ultimately, as all the other coaches have talked about, the things that are going on here facility-wise now, with us moving into the new practice facility a year ago, the football or the weight room being 5 years old now, and now that's going to be one of the oldest parts of the Barnett Center here, which is pretty cool. And then ultimately the Dakota Bank Stadium. When you're recruiting players and you can show that vision to people, not only the scholarship players, but we have more walk-ons than we've ever had here. And at the end of the day, those guys end up being good players for us. That's just how it works in football. So yeah, that's exciting to have that many guys in. And really the two things that you really need in our sport, you need depth, you need competition, And I recruited Bo Freeze this summer a little bit, but he told me no, Ashley. So I was working on him. So I didn't. I joked around with him a little bit though, but good thing you told him yes. That was nice of you, Ashley, to do that. But ultimately is getting guys here and keeping guys here. And that's really what our guys did. We really just about had everybody here this summer. Coach Fritz can tell you that. And it's a long deal. It's a 8, 9 week, 10 week process for the guys, and it's 5:30 in the morning. And really, I'd say that's probably the biggest thing I can talk about our team is ownership. That's really what I'm seeing in this year, and it's certainly not a knock on previous years, because you always have that. I just feel like the ownership of our players, it starts with your senior class, but it's really up and down your whole football program is really phenomenal. I mean, when you look at, usually for us, the first to second year guys, those are the hardest guys to keep here for the summer, because they maybe don't have a place to live, they don't have a job, or they have to get a job, but they don't have a place to live. And we had really all of those guys were here except 2, actually except for 1 of our first to second year guys were here for the summer. So that's a pretty phenomenal thing for guys to stay and sleep on somebody's couch or in their basement or whatever. And luckily for us, we have some Aberdeen Central guys in that group. So the Stabner family, they had about 4 or 5 guys staying with them. And but that's really it, and that's the ownership piece that I really feel is huge. We do have new staff members, some new old staff members. So I'm going to introduce those. Actually 5 new staff members this year, 2 graduate assistants, which we turn those over every 2 years, and then 3 new full-time guys. So I'll introduce Coach Austin Flieger, if you want to stand up. Coach Flieger's in his 3rd year in our program. When I got here in 2010, Coach Flieger came as our defensive line coach with me. He's now our defense coordinator and our defensive backs coach, and that's been the good part of that, hiring a guy that you're familiar with, and that after he was here in 2011, he went to Southern Illinois and coached down there for 7 years. Lucky enough to get him back here. So you've got some continuity there. You've got some prior relationships and stuff where, we're speaking the same language, but also he spent 7 years coaching in the Missouri Valley Conference, so brought a lot of good things there. And really just hit the ground running recruiting-wise, too. And if you look at the wall down there, a couple of the guys, Chad Stoddard, Channing Barber, those are guys that Austin recruited back in 2012. So it's great to have Austin back. Quinn Schaefer, offensive coordinator, is again, he came from Lake Forest College in Illinois. Quinn's the first time we've had an offensive coordinator and quarterback coach who was a quarterback in college. He played at quarterback at Valparaiso, and same thing. He had some prior experience with our previous offensive coordinator, Myers Hendrickson, who took the head coaching job at Kansas Wesleyan. So as a result, there was some carryover there. We were able to speak the same verbiage and have some familiarity there, but also, hey, he's got his own stuff. He's not going to come in and just take our playbook and call plays out of it. He's doing his own thing. So that's been a good mix of that with our offense coordinator and quarterback coach. And then John Roy, Coach Roy, is our offensive line coach. Coach Fritz, would it be safe to say he's the strongest person in the Barnett Center? Would I be over exaggerating? For now, all right. So Coach Roy is He's a powerlifting guy. What he can do in one rep of squats, it takes me a couple days to get that much weight going. So, but ultimately, good offensive line coach. Bill O'Boyle is really one of the best O-line coaches in the country, or certainly in the upper Midwest, and that's who John learned from years ago. But also he's got a lot of presence about him. And you walk into a weight room and you squat 600 and some pounds. All right, other football players kind of take notice of that this guy knows what he's doing here, and it really been a good mix of that, having a guy who's going to get after the guys, but also is going to be in their corner pulling for them too. So those are 3 new full-time coaches. Jake Irie, new graduate assistant coach in our outside linebackers. Teague Bloom, graduate assistant coach in our tight ends, joined us as well. So those 5 guys, and then they are joining Maya Tupou. Coach Tupou, you here? He was here. What up, Tup? And 17 years, the godfather of Northern State football. Kurt Alinka, so Maya's coaching our wide receivers. Kurt Alinka, defensive line coach. 6 years, Coach? This is Coach Alinka's 6th year with us. Mike Famigletti, full throttle. Mike Famigletti, 2nd year is our running backs coach, assistant recruiting coordinator, and then also Jared Gallatin. Where you at, Jared? Sorry, Jared's our 2nd year graduate assistant coach in our corner, so he gets everything thrown at him. When you're a graduate, second year graduate assistant, you get everything thrown at you. So, and then Terry Dosh. Is Terry Dosh here? I don't think Coach Dosh is here. He's gone today. He's been just a phenomenal resource for our program. He coaches recess. He teaches recess at Roncalli, but he's been a good resource for us. He's really good. I lean on him. And how did he say it? He'll give unsolicited life advice to anybody who'll take it, I think is what he said. So he's a good guy for our players. So good with the staff. I'll bring up the 2 guys that are going to talk to you right now. Drew Farman is a 6-year senior. He redshirted and then medical redshirted. And he's been a starter. This will be his 4th year as a starter if he remains a starter from Fargo South. And then also Zach Mose in his 5th year here. And Zach's got a lot of the same problems I have when I was a senior. He's trying to figure out where he's going to go to medical school. So he can tell you that he can give you a little bit more of that. So Zach and Drew, come on up here.
Yeah, hey guys, as Coach said, I'm Drew Farman from Fargo, North Dakota, going into my 6th year as a senior. I'm majoring in chemistry and business administration. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our offensive side of the ball. We got new coaches in, and there's just a lot of energy and a lot of just excitement to get going on this year. We've got a lot of guys coming back, a lot of skill in this side of the ball. There's so much talent that we have, and I think that we got the right guys to really put these implements into the process and get us going and scoring a lot of touchdowns this year. Coach Roy, new O-line coach, has background in strength and conditioning. So one thing he's been working on with us offensive linemen is keeping us healthy and prolonging all of the gains we made in the offseason in the weight room. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions for Drew?
Oh, yeah. Any questions?
Talk about your leadership with Student Athlete Advisory Committee. What has that done for you?
Oh, yeah, SAC. Student Athlete Advisory Committee is really been a great opportunity for me. It's a lot of community outreach, volunteer work, basically just being able to support the community that supports all of our student athletes so much. Terry Holmes is great. She does a phenomenal job working with us and empowering us and really, showing us how grateful we should be by showing us how grateful the people are when we help them. This summer, we were actually able to host the SAC Summit, which is a conference of all teams in the NSIC. We got to show off the new pavilion and practice facility, have administrators and student athletes from all the conference, and actually 3 of our 4 student representatives were football players this year, including Zach was one of them. So. Any other questions?
All right, I'm Zach Mose. I'm a bio and a chem major, and just like Coach Dosh said, I'm trying to go to medical school, so I'm in that process right now. So maybe I should talk to him. He probably knows more about it. He's been through it. So I'm from the defensive side of the ball, and we have Coach Flieger in this year as our defensive coordinator, and he's really been emphasizing a lot of ball disruption, getting more turnovers, creating more turnovers to be a successful unit. And that's something that I think we're going to take a lot of pride in this year on the defensive side of the ball, is being ball hawks, getting after it, and trying to get to that magic 28 turnovers. But and then on the defensive line, we've gotten a lot more deep this year. There's a lot of guys that have played, and that's always better for your success. And we have Coach Holinka. This is our second year with him, so we're really getting into a groove. And just as an overall team, I think the expectations are high. We had a lot of guys here this summer, like they've been saying. We spent a lot of time with Coach Fritz and his weight staff, and I think this is one of the overall strongest teams I've ever been a part of, and hopefully that will translate come September 5th. So, any questions?
Can you give us a background on your mustache and how it's played a role in your success?
You know, mustache is a big part of your fall camp success. It doesn't have to look good, but you just got to rock it. So it's what makes me bring my edge every day. Just being the dirtiest guy out there. Any more questions?
Yeah, I got it. Give us a little med school update. What schools you looking at right now?
I have pretty much all my secondary applications in, and now I'm just waiting on interview invites, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I got no invites yet, so, I mean, I wish I could give you more.
I had the same thing happen to me, so.
Awesome.
Okay, anything else for Zach? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'll just do a quick summary overview here and then open it up for questions. So really, I think the biggest things for us really right now are when you look at back on last year, and certainly we're not using, we're not going to dwell on what happened last season. Our competitiveness was there. We just, we didn't win as many games, didn't win as many close games as we could have and felt we should have. Ultimately, it comes down to competition and depth, and that's really and staying healthy. And sometimes that's luck, sometimes it's things you can control. So a couple areas where we really felt, there's probably 2 or 3 areas where we really felt we needed to get deeper and we needed to get more competition. One was what, Drew was up here talking our offensive line. We got another 6th-year guy, Remy Allison, who's here. Remy medical redshirted last year, got hurt the first game of the year, unfortunately. So that's where it hit us initially. And if you're not where you want to be on the offensive line, it's really hard to have a winning football team because that group gets exposed if you don't have enough healthy bodies there that can play physical, especially in our league. So we have moved a couple guys, Jake Oliphant and Emmett Boley are a couple of guys that came here as tight ends. We moved them to offensive tackle and offensive guard. We just moved them inside. They're both bigger, 280, 290 pounds. Now they look like offensive linemen already as second-year guys, and a year ago they were kind of gangly looking tight end looking guys. And then Chase Jacobs is a guy, you may or may not remember him from Aberdeen Central, who played the last football he actually played was in 2016. Chase had a couple knee surgeries since then. And big athletic guy, and again, we don't know where Chase is going to be just because of it's been a while since he's played, but he's 6'6", he's 300 pounds, and you can't teach that. So, and he's been just a phenomenal guy in this whole process. You can imagine going through back-to-back ACL surgeries and really going almost 3 years without playing your sport. It'd probably be pretty easy just to shut it down, and you couldn't hardly blame a person for doing that. And his attitude's been remarkable, and he brings some different juice to the table. He's got an interesting perspective on things, and so we'll see how he is. And we're so early today was our first day we're in pads. So for offensive linemen, defensive linemen especially, it's the first day you can really get good evaluation. So, but we felt we improved our depth there, certainly in our competition. Without a doubt, it's going to be better there. And then we brought in 10 freshmen at that group, and that's hard to do. Big guys are hard to find. We got 10 freshmen, offensive linemen. We don't know if any of those guys are going to be ready to go or not, but we've got the depth that we want to have there. Defensive back, again, we ran into the same thing there last year. A couple of our corners, A.J. Frazier and Etienne Ezef, got hurt at certain times in the year, and that really hurt us there. And we graduated a couple guys as well. So we did move Braden McNary, moved him from outside linebacker to safety, which a lot of times it's kind of a similar position anyway, but it is a different overall different position group. kudos to Braden. You know, he really changed his body. He lost 14, 16 pounds. Spent a lot of time going to yoga, his flexibility, all the things we talked about. It's easy to sit there in November and challenge guys that you got to do this better, and everyone's going to say yeah. But then sometimes it's not easy to do that for the next 9 months, right? We're all like that, and Braden was not like that. He responded, and he's changed the way he moves around, and so excited about him and the edge he'll bring there. And then running back, you know, we weren't as deep there as well. So Isaiah Sherrier's a transfer that came in January. We like Preston Barr from Aberdeen Central, showing a lot of good things. Jack Anderson from Harrisburg and Clayton Greenike from Allendale. So we got a lot more depth there at those spots. Couple positions where we think we've got some depth. Quarterback, Hunter Troutman is back. Started every game last year for us and played most of the second half with a torn ACL and torn meniscus, and played most of the second half of the year with that. And we expect him to be cleared tomorrow. You know, he's the leader of that group, and then Jared Taylor and Preston Arity are both program guys, been with us for a while. So like the depth there. We really, as Zach mentioned, defensive line and linebacker, and I'm not going to start rattling off all the names, but really like the depth there, competition. Without a doubt, those two spots have the most competition. And just like Coach Aldrich talks about, and you know, that's what you need to have if you want to get better. And you know, we feel both those positions, there's a lot of competition every day in practice. And guys are going to get banged up. That's the nature of all sports. It's certainly the nature of football. So having a lot of guys there competing for playing time, you know, and pushing each other. And again, those summer workouts, guys know if I don't get out of bed and get to workouts, the guys I'm competing against are going to be there. So I like what I've seen in the front seven. And then a couple other things, wide receiver. We certainly feel with Jacob Streit, who was an All-American tight end last year, and Dakota Larson. Dakota was the NSIC Offensive Newcomer of the Year, led our team in receptions and yards and in scoring as a true freshman. You know, so you like the production. We've gotten those two guys caught 100 balls between the two of them, I think. 13 and scored 13 or 14 touchdowns, but good competition there. Boston Bauer, Greg Lux had a great summer. Robert Vamachkas played a lot for us. Joseph Lane's a guy we think can do some things. So it's a good competitive group there. And then good competition at kicker punter. You know, Jacob Wiedrich was all-conference punter for us for 2 of the last 3 years. Was really a weapon for us in that department. And so we've got Mitch Schockert, who is here. Mitch is going to he's got 4 interviews, right, Mitch? 4 interviews at different schools of dentistry in the upper Midwest over the next few weeks here. Creighton, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska, is that right? So, again, similar issues I had when I was your age, trying to figure out where I want to go to school. But Mitch was with our program and left, and now rejoined us last year, and he and Peyton Oy, good competition there. So we've got a lot of competition at the spots where we felt we would, and then we've got, I think we strengthened up some of the areas that we needed to strengthen up from our depth standpoint. So we'll see. And it's belief, it's expectations, and that's really what it boils down to. You know, we got a great home schedule. Josh hit on that already. Bemidji State and the Egg Bowl, and Sugarcrop Egg Bowl right off the bat. And Bemidji's been one of the best teams. You got Mankato and Sioux Falls and Moorhead and Duluth and some of the top teams in the conference coming to town, and that's what our guys want. It's bring it on and let's go. And that's really how these guys have, approached everything. I met with this group of guys here last November, really about 9 months ago, almost to the day. I sat in here with the seniors, and we talked about goals and expectations and where you want to be 9 months from now or 12 months from now. And they all wrote stuff down and things we've talked about. But ultimately, it's, hey, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And much like other sports in our league, that's what we got in our conference, and that's what our guys want, and that's what we're shooting for, is to get to the top of the league. And that's when that happens, good things are going to happen for you. So, anybody have any questions on anything?
Who do you look at in your league that's going to be nationally on the national scene? I know there's a couple teams, but they're all losing people. So coming back off of last year, who you see as a
Well, I would say Mankato, when you look at them, just based on, their national semifinals, got beat by, I think, a score or 2 in the national semifinals to the eventual national champs. So you got to start with them until somebody proves otherwise, I guess. They do return. Their talent level is very high, and, they've won a lot. But physical team, that's probably the biggest thing when you get to those upper echelon teams. The physicalness of the offensive linemen, D linemen, running backs, linebackers is extremely high. And so You got to start there. Obviously, Minnesota Duluth has been the top team in the North here over the last few years, and then probably work from there. But yeah, Mankato would be the one that, until somebody proves otherwise, they got to get knocked off. And then it's a mindset, and it's like you got to find ways to beat them. Any others? Got about 40 freshmen or 38 freshmen or new players right now, and so it's too early for us to determine who's going to play and not. But Zach?
How's recruiting impacted by the stadium, and what's the future of Wolves football when the guys getting excited to look at the new stadium, locker room?
Well, everything in probably all aspects of any sport, but football recruiting's all gotten accelerated now with the early signing period for Division I, so that has trickled down to Division II. So there's more guys making commitments and decisions. It used to be December, January until guys already did that, and we got our first commitment last week already, which is pretty unusual for football. Usually guys wait it out. So we've had more guys in on visits. Our coaching staff, Coach Tupou, Coach Fan McGletty in particular, we had more guys in on visits over the last month than we've ever had at this point in time. So top tier guys who obviously as soon as you can start showing them the facilities with the practice field and pavilion and then the stadium, Dakota Bank Stadium, it's pretty impressive stuff, really. And so now it's a matter of finishing that off and getting those kids here and keeping them here. Anything else? Okay, thanks again. We are having our first our scrimmage, our inter-squad scrimmage will be Wednesday, August 28th, which is 2 weeks from today. That'll be at Swisher Field that evening. And obviously anybody's out to welcome to come on out there. And Ashley, is there anything, or am I just shutting her down from here? I'm shutting it down. Josh, we're good? Okay, thanks for coming. Have a good day. Go Wolves.